Fellas, we got ourselves a Motherfucker of the Week nominee. There is a retired college football coach who was on Lou Holtz's podcast this week. And he had some things to say.
Mike, before you go any further, when you originally sent the show rundown and you put in parentheses around this story, I'm not going to tell you which coach it is. I'm like, oh, he wants it to be a surprise, but who could I think of? And I'm like, okay, And seeing the preview in the picture here, I just want to say it's the least shocking thing that I think I've seen.
Nailed it? You nailed who it was?
No, I didn't nail it, and I'm mad at myself because I didn't. I'm like, oh, one of the shittiest motherfuckers over the last few years. Why didn't that one come to mind first? But continue on.
Yeah, wait, Scott. So I got it wrong too. Who did you think it was?
Well, I mean, my mind, of course, immediately went to Saban because I'm like, well,
I was going Brian Kelly.
Well, and then that was my other one. He's not a former coach, so that eliminates.
Yeah, that rules out Brian Kelly because he's.
I skipped over that word.
Yeah. So Urban Meyer doesn't like NIL and thinks it's cheating. Urban Meyer had this to say on the Lou Holtz podcast. He said there's these things called collectives where they go out and get money from donors and they get this big, giant, massive money and they pay players. And that's not what the intent is. That name and likeness that's America. America is built on name and likeness. If you have Lou Holtz or Urban Meyer or Marvin Harrison Jr., CJ Stroud, they want to go use their name and help sell cars, help a business. That's great. But to have a 17-year-old demand money for a visit, to pay these players a lot of money to go visit a charity for 20 minutes and they write a check for $50,000, that's cheating. That's not what this is all about. So I'm very disappointed in where it went. Now, I want to know, does that mean Urban is saying that in his time at Florida or at Ohio State, he never took cash for an appearance? Because if so, fucking bullshit. There is no way. The fact that this man calls it cheating for these kids to get paid to go for an appearance, it solidifies everything that I've thought about these coaches who bail on college football because of name, image, and likeness. Because they are like, we can't, now that it's out in the open, now that everybody can do it, it's cheating. It's not fair. Because when only I could do it, then it was okay. I'm beyond myself with this. I can't believe that Urban Meyer had the goddamn audacity to desecrate Lou Holtz's podcast with this filth. Okay, it's disgusting.
Okay, so hold on a second. I gotta know who's what was Lou's reaction to this? Like, where does Lou stand on this? Because that's
Lou stands on this one.
No,
you know exactly.
I know where he stands on, but that's the thing. At least some of them are just finally coming out and telling on themselves after all these years of pretending and bullshitting their way through all this. Everything was cool in the gang when they're making their millions and doing their backdoor deals and getting all the players wherever they went. Everything was fine then. Oh, it's equal footing. Everybody can do that. I'm not getting paid. My job's on the line more often. Nah, fuck this. This shit's cheating, y'all. We got to go back to the old way. This isn't football. This isn't in the spirit of what college football was. This isn't what the rules intended. Like, fuck all of these coaches. Fuck all of these coaches. All of these NCAA people. Like, all of it.
Get him, Scott. There you go. I'm mostly impressed that Lou had a podcast. Like that seems very high tech and modern of him, but good on the old guy. Maybe
do you see his nostrils like on the webcam the entire time? Because he's like, "Why is this right? are you there? Can you hear me close?
I also want to know, like, does he need special equipment to handle all of the spit that comes out as he does a full-on podcast?
He's got all the spit guards. Like,
I don't know. Better. Coach, what do you think?
I hope Mark May was his first guess.
The thing about name, image, and likeness is that I just realized that all the stuff that they busted SMU for back in '86, it's all legal now. That's crazy to me that they punished this university, and now here they are just paying players all willy nilly like this. I just can't believe it. However, what I do think they should do is they shouldn't pay for players. They should pray for players. That's what this needs to do. Hit your knees, ask the good Lord Almighty for a starting right guard, and then he'll deliver it to you. Okay, that's the way that Lou did it. That's how Lou won our national championship in '88. Lou prayed real hard for a starting offensive tackle, and the good Lord delivered.
And then I want you to say, now speaking of chicken, coach, let's talk about you finger banging some woman at the bar, not your wife. Now say that in Lou Holtz.
Coach, that's a great point about NIL, but let me just segue here for a second. I want to ask you, when you were in that Applebee's and you were 3 knuckles deep into that young lady, what was going through your mind exactly?
And this is what
I don't know what's funnier. I don't know what's funnier, the fact that you took what I said and put it through the Lou Holtz translator, or that you got that all out without breaking. Well done. Well,
it's impressive.
Done.
I mean, Matt was saying in the comments, I can't believe y'all get Lou Holtz on the show this often. Like with content and opportunities like this, like you can't help but let the coach just cook. Like let him do his thing. And guys, I'm gonna be sore tomorrow. I gotta be honest. Like I haven't had a core workout like this in a minute. I've not been trying to shit myself. I've not been working hard enough. I'll come clean. And as Chase said, I should learn too, because Chase said it took everything he had to not spit his drink across the goddamn room. I thought to myself, just as you launched into that, I need to know better to not take a sip while Mike is in Lou mode, because that's coming out the nostrils, no question. Well done, friend.